It's really easy as tarot readers to forget to look at the cards, to have taglines, nicknames, keywords associated to the cards. Or if you're a beginner, as soon as you turn a card over, to head to Google or a book or to look a card up and to forget to look at the cards. Honestly, 10 years working as a pro, can't even begin to count how many hours I've spent reading cards. This is my reading deck here, and I know it looks like a vintage deck, but it's not that old. It's just very, very well used. And I am still seeing details and making connections that I wasn't aware of. So, whenever you've done a tarot reading, look at the cards. Don't go straight to your logical brain. Look at the images, because then you'll start to notice the subtle connections between the cards in a spread. And as one example, the sunflower. I love this little detail. The sunflower, to the best of my knowledge, because I'm, still learning, just like the rest of us, to the best of my knowledge, the sunflower in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck only appears in the Queen of Wands and the Sun. And you can't remember, I'm going to argue, all those nuances of symbols between all 78 cards. It's just too much, which is why whenever you've put your spread out, the first thing you do is you look at the cards and you look for the similarities and the differences between the cards in your spread. And if you're going to do that, then I'm going to argue you would notice if you had the Queen of Wands and the Sun, and you would notice, oh, sunflower in both cards, sunflower not in any other card, and that instantly creates a link between these two cards. And the fact that you've got the sunflower repeated as a symbol instantly makes it an important symbol. So let's have a look at both cards and let's try and find what the sort of the connecting meaning is between the two cards and the sunflower. Let's start with the sun. I mean, the sun is big in this image, right? The sun, what I love about this card as well is the straight and the wavy lines or rays coming out of that sun. To me, the whole point about tarot is integration and balance. The tarot is helping us to feel complete and balanced, to be able to connect to our logical and our intuitive sides, our emotional and our practical, our inner masculinity, our inner femininity. It is all about integration and balance. And I see the straight lines in this sun as being our masculine, our yang side, and the wavy lines being our feminine, our receptive, our yin. And the sun is asking us to be balanced, to embrace both sides. And then we have those beautiful sunflowers. To me, the wall is about feeling secure and safe. A garden is a walled area where nature is temporarily tamed by the hands of man. In Old Norse, many of the gods have a garth or a safe space, the Garden of Eden. Gardens are safe. That's the whole point for me of the wall. And then we have the sunflowers. So sunflowers track the sun in the sky. And to me, the sun represents our solar plexus, and the solar plexus is the seat of, for me, seat of inner divinity. It's where we shine. It's our core ego self. Now I know ego's got a bit of a bad rep, but I don't see ego as a bad thing. My ego is only bad if it tries to overshadow your ego. If I try to quash you because of who I believe I am. But if I can feel comfortable and safe in my ego, if I'm able to say things like I would like, or this is what I want to do, and feel comfortable in that solar plexus in knowing who I am, what I want, and that confidence, then suddenly the sun is a good thing. So to me, the sunflower is about our ego. And it's about being in alignment, not with sort of selfish or power grabbing ego, but it is about being in alignment with our true self. Because to me, the sun represents our true self. So it is when our hopes, our wishes, our ego are all in alignment with what we might call our higher guidance, our soul plan, whatever you want to call that. It is when life is in alignment and you feel secure with that. So I love that feeling in the sun. And to me, it's a very similar meaning with the Queen of Wands. She is holding a sunflower. To me, that connects with her solar plexus. It suggests that she knows who she is. You know, there's no more powerful place than knowing who you are. I know who I am. I know what I like. I know that just as the sun changes in a 24-hour period and a 365-day period, that may change. And I'm okay with that. That's why I love the Queen of Wands. Comfortable in her own skin. She knows herself, her solar plexus, the seat of the inner divinity. She knows herself and she's comfortable with it. So if ever you're getting a tarot reading and you've got the Sun and the Queen of Wands, I would think to yourself, what does the solar plexus mean to you? How do you interpret the solar plexus? Usually, in a reading, when a client's got both of these cards, they need to work on their solar plexus. They're not able to express what they want or who they are. I often start by saying to people, start having that conversation with yourself. You aware of how much of our life is dictated by habit? Start to think, what do I want to drink right now? What do I want to do? What do I want to wear? Make it a conscious choice. Because if you can have that dialogue with yourself, it's much easier to have it with other people. People often talk about the cats in the Queen of Wands. My understanding is it's based on a real cat, somebody that who had a cat that Pamela Coleman Smith, the artist, painted. People often think the cat is a suggestion that the Queen of Wands is sort of a witch or representing witchcraft. Possibly. But to me, when I think about the cat, I think about contrary. I think, having had cats myself over the years, cats do what they want to do. That's the nature of a cat. Independent in mind, thought, and action. And to me, that is the connection to the Queen of Wands. Just like she holds that sunflower, I know my own solar plexus. I know what I want to do, and I feel really comfortable in following through with that. The cat, I'm really comfortable in who I am. You may like me, you may not. I'm just fine with that. And so that is just a little bit of a thought on this connection between the two cards, with my main bit of advice being, if you've got a spread of 2 or more cards out, look at the cards, look for those little details, whichever deck you're working with. Look for the symbols between the cards that bring them closer together. It could be the color of the sky. It could be tiny details like this, like the sunflower. It could be, for example, the red flower, the red feather. That's on quite a few cards in RiderWaite. Look for those joining details, excuse me, and see the connection between the cards within your spread.